Sure, IHOP sells burgers and steaks and omelets, but you know you're only going for the pancakes. What is it that makes their stack so special, though? We uncovered some pancake intel to really get to the bottom of the hype. Here's what makes IHOP's pancakes so darn good. When you're baking a cake, the recipe usually calls for room temperature eggs or butter. Apparently, you should not assume it's the same protocol when you're trying to make great pancakes. IHOP's Vice President of Culinary Innovation Marie Grimm told Delish that any liquid going into their pancake batter is always very cold, and it turns out that's a crucial thing. That's because when the liquid ingredients in a batch of batter are warm or room temperature, they cause a chemical reaction by raising the temperature of the gluten in the flour, which gives a springy quality to the pancakes a little too soon. So presumably, IHOP chefs don't pull their liquid necessities out of the fridge until it's time to mix with the dry stuff. This might surprise you, but when it comes to IHOP pancakes, butter does not make everything better, at least during the cooking process. The Culinary Innovation VP from IHOP, Marie Grimm, informed Delish that using butter or oil to grease the griddle messes with the perfect finished pancake that IHOP seems to have mastered. The problem with butter is that it burns easily, so if you've got a griddle on a hot temperature for long amounts of time, or are making a large batch of pancakes, you might end up cooking on residual brown milk solids from the butter breaking down. That burnt butter flavor can potentially overcome the rest of the flavors. With oil, there is a risk for dark, uneven spots on the cakes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but not on par with what you expect at IHOP. If you want to mix meat with your pancakes, save it for the plate. Bacon and syrup, anyone? If you want good pancakes, you've got to be cautious with the griddle. In the case of the IHOP kitchen, there are 2 stations designated solely for pancakes amongst the 4 giant flat tops. There are a total of 5 cooking stations on the IHOP griddle, some wet and some dry. John Cotes, the senior manager of field operations support for IHOP, told Restaurant Business that dividing the flat tops into separate stations is what makes the IHOP kitchen so quick and efficient. But this griddle setup is also why the pancakes are so divine. Keeping the pancakes on their own griddle prevents any chance of flavors from another menu item commingling with the precious cakes. It preserves that pure, distinct IHOP flavor. Breakfast items commingling on the same griddle doesn't feel that jarring, but pancakes that have the residual taste of burgers with grilled onions? No thanks. If it doesn't cook perfectly at 350 degrees, IHOP doesn't want it. That goes for pancakes and all their other delicious grub too, because all of IHOP's griddles are set at 350 degrees. In fact, they develop every new menu item based on that temp and that temp alone. IHOP's consistent griddle temperature helps to ensure they get the same delicious pancake results with every order. Combine this sweet spot of a surface temp for flipping flapjacks with the cook time they've likely got down to a science under one big flashy blue roof, and you've got pancake perfection. IHOP may be a chain diner, but it's certainly not serving you any reheated frozen fare. Everything, including the famous pancakes, is cooked when the order hits the kitchen. The IHOP Senior Manager of Field Operations Support, John Cotes, confirmed this with Restaurant Business, saying, "Everything is cooked to order, and you're building toward a single plate. Eggs anyway, toast, protein." So make no mistake, those pancakes are still in batter form when you order them. Don't believe it? Think about this. With as many add-in options as there are on the menu, it would be almost pointless to whip up big batches of buttermilk pancakes in advance, only to have custom orders come in. The Rooty Tooty fresh and fruity pancakes at IHOP are not that special when you really break it down. They're a stack of plain old pancakes with fruit, and a syrup flavored with that same fruit on them. That's it. They aren't infused with the fruit that tops them, or even dyed to be that color. But having said all that, how can you deny the inviting aw shucks vibe of a dish called Rooty Tooty Fresh and Fruity? Of course we want some, and of course they're even tastier than their naked counterparts. Pancakes with berries and whipped cream are a real treat, even if it is slightly embarrassing to utter.
I'll have the Rooty Tooty.
The Rooty Tooty Fresh and Fruity cakes continue to maintain icon status. These fruit-topped stacks have been on the menu since 1985, so clearly they're doing something to keep their fans coming back. We don't have to tell you that food tastes better when it's free. It does. It always does. So that's why we'd like to proclaim our mad respect and adoration for IHOP Free Pancake Day, formerly known as National Pancake Day.
Hey, Dad, can we get a boat?
No, honey, I'm not rich. I'm pancake rich.
Not only does IHOP offer a fresh, free stack of their original buttermilk pancakes on this day every year, but they also encourage those enjoying the complimentary cakes to donate to charities such as the Children's Miracle Network, Shriners Hospitals, or the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So you're eating for free, but also contributing to a noble cause if you do decide to fork over a donation amount of your choice. It's a way to put your passion for pancakes toward the greater good. With IHOP Free Pancake Day, the pancakes are even more delicious because you don't have to bust out your wallet if you don't want to, but you'll probably feel even better if you do. Who knew pancakes could have such an impact? Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite restaurant chains are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.